Morning, welcome to Let's Keep Circussing Series 2. This is part of our Things to Do at Home series, a series of short video tutorials of things that you can do at home, things to keep our brain active and keep our body active whilst we're all in lockdown and isolation. And this series in particular focuses on circus skills, in case you hadn't realised. So, as I promised last time, we're going to move away from our rings and our balls now. We're going to move on to something else. We're going to be working with poi and scarves. Don't worry if you don't have them. This first video is going to be about how to get together the things you need. And I'll give you a couple of things to be practicing, but we'll then carry on over the next few weeks with lots of activities and exercises that you can do with this equipment. If you already have one of our Learn to Juggle kits, lucky you, your life's going to be a lot easier. But you will still need a pair of socks. If you don't have one of our kits, don't worry, I will leave a link in the description and you can get yourself one if you want to, but you can make everything you need from things that you have at home. So first of all, let's talk about the poi. So these are my poi. Okay, they're basically, mine are sort of a tube with a weighted soft weight at the end. Now there are literally hundreds of different kinds of poi on the market in thousands and thousands of designs, but to be honest with you, you really don't need them. Most people start their poi journey learning the beginnings with a pair of socks, and then if you find you like it, then you might want to go and buy some, but for now some socks are fine. So if you've got juggling balls, that's really easy. All you need is a nice long pair of socks. Normally I would say get the longest pair of socks you can find. However, if you've got children that are going to be using these, or you're short on space or ceiling height, a smaller pair will do. I'd say probably you want a minimum of knee length socks to make this work. So if you've got juggling balls, take your juggling ball, pop it in your sock, all the way down to the toes. And there you go, you've got a poi. You're going to need two though. If on the other hand you don't have juggling balls, and not all of us do, don't worry. What you actually need is another pair of socks and some rice or seeds. I've got about half a cup of rice there. I don't know if you can see that. And we need to get that inside one of our socks. So the best way to do that, I find, is put your hand inside and spread your fingers out and try and make like a little cup in there. And you're going to hold that over the cup that's got your rice in and just kind of try and bring the sock over it. And then you take the cup out, leaving the rice behind, and try not to spilling it all over your bed. In an ideal world, nearly there. There we go, empty. My rice is in my sock. Okay, so make sure all the rice is down by the toes ideally, and just roll it up. And then you take the other sock and you put this inside that. And this is like putting a hairband in if you do such things. So you just open your fingers out, twist the ball, and then pull it back over. Same again, put your hand in, spread your fingers out, twist the ball, bring the sock over. That'll probably do you. So now you've essentially got a makeshift juggling ball. Get your long sock. In it goes, all the way down to the toes. Now you can put tennis balls and other things in instead, and people do, but when you're first doing poi, or even later on when you're doing poi, you are going to hit yourself with them. So something soft like rice or seeds is much better in terms of how it feels when it hits you. So essentially, there you go, you've already got a pair of poi. But there's one more thing you can do, just to give you some options, is near the top, you just want to tie a little knot. Okay, and what that does, it gives you a variety of ways of holding onto it. Okay, so for most things I probably put the knot between my first and second finger. Other times I might actually have it between my thumb and my first finger. The other thing to note is that you can make them shorter. So if you are short on space or you're finding something particularly difficult, you can just wrap it around your hand so it comes out by your thumb and your finger, and you've got a shorter poi. Okay, so that's poi. We'll do something with those in a minute. The other piece of equipment we're going to be working with is scarves. Now these are juggling scarves. Again, you get these in our Learn to Juggle kits. They're just light fabric that kind of softly fall slowly in the air. I'd say these are probably about 30, 40 centimetres square. Now what I found is that bandanas work really well. It's not quite as slow, but it still works. Handkerchiefs are good. Any light fabric, so if you've got a really thin t-shirt or pillowcase, something like that, that you don't mind cutting up, or you know, like a chiffony scarf, then if you just cut that into squares of about 30 to 40 centimetres, you need 3 of them, then you'll have your set of juggling scarves. Okay, so let's do something with them, shall we? Let's start with the scarves then. So you're just going to start with one today, and you're going to hold it up above your head and have your other hand ready to catch it. You just let go and catch. Try that with the other hand as well. Let go and catch. Try it a couple of times. So all you're doing is throwing and catching. Well, not even throwing, dropping and catching. I call it drop catch. So we can make it look something a bit more impressive. So if you start with your arms out to the side, you're going to draw a big circle with your arms, with the one holding the scarf coming up to the top, and then you let go and catch, and then you change and catch, change and catch. You'll notice that I'm just looking at the top. Obviously, if I follow the scarf, it might be a bit easier to catch, but later on I'm going to be using more than one scarf, so it's going to be a bit difficult to watch 2 or 3 scarves. So if you just look at the top, what we're doing is we're training our body and brain to talk to each other and work out where that second hand needs to be in order to catch it. Okay, so there's one for you to try. What about the poi? Okay, right, I've got a lampshade there. I've got to try and position myself so I don't hit it. So most things in beginner's poi are where the poi is coming forwards. What that actually means is they start going backwards. So I'm gonna make them nice and small because I'm a bit cramped here. So they're going to go back, up and over. It's that over the head, they're coming forwards. Okay, and I'm trying to make them go at the same time. I'm imagining I'm in a very narrow corridor. I don't want them going out to the sides like this. Okay, I want them just to drop forwards from my head. The trick is to do this as slowly as possible. Doing this might be tempting, but you've got no control. And it doesn't look very good either. So nice and slow, nice slow circles. Going forwards, that's up, over, forwards. Now, poi passion call this bouncing beat. This is with the poi going at the same time. I like that because if you do a little bounce, it helps you keep the rhythm. It's nice, isn't it? Bouncing beat. They've actually invited us to join their free online classes. At the moment, I'm doing the one on a Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. That's Beginners Foundation Poi. I'm loving it. There's also a kids class at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday. So I'll make sure there's a link for that in the description as well. You should definitely come and join me. It's so much fun. I'm learning so much stuff. Okay, so same time or bouncing beat. The other one to try is alternate or split time. So when one's at the top, the other's at the bottom. It's a bit like doing front crawl when you're swimming. So we're going to go alternating or split time. One then the other. So what we're going to practice between now and next week is changing between this split time and bouncing beat. Split time, bouncing beat. Oh, mine went a bit wild there. Split time or alternating and same time. So there you go, some things for you to practice. Obviously you can try doing those backwards as well. It is a bit harder going backwards. We tend to do backwards stuff a bit later on in the poi journey. But for now, that's it. As I said, I'll put all the links in the description. We are a community interest company, so donations are also always welcome. That is down in the description as well. But until next week, get yourself some poi or make yourself some poi, get or make yourself some scarves and practice those 2 things. Stay home. Stay safe, stay circussing. See you later.